Hi, folks. Welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Blue Sky at FTLcast and at FTLcast.com. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/FTLcast. Today we're playing Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands by Vincent Baker. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. The year is SC0245. Humanity is spread through the Milky Way using interstellar transit gate technology to colonize the galaxy. Mobile frames are the hard-working, hard-fighting, combat and labor mecha they've brought with them. You're romantic ace mobile frame pilots caught up in an undeclared war for the future of the Bantrol system. Fight with your friends, ally with your rivals, fall in love with your enemies. I'm August, and you can find me on Tumblr at Strange Harpy and Blue Sky at Harpydora, and my pronouns are they, them. Playing with me today, we have a special guest, Chia.
Hi, how's it going? You can find me on the internet at well, shit, I haven't done this in so long, I can't remember. Am I just Kato on Blue Sky? Did I get in early enough? I did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to saying the Twitter one, _Kato_appears, but I don't use that anymore. Barely use Blue Sky, honestly, but I am technically there, and you can follow me because sometimes I'll update. My name is Chia, and I use she they.
And we also have Brian.
Hi, it's Brian. I use he, him pronouns. If you want to find me, you can find me on me and my other podcasts, which you're almost certainly familiar with if you're here on FTL, over on The Room Where It Happened. You can find me and that podcast on Blue Sky, because I share the Blue Sky account with them, at Roomware Pod. You can also come, I encourage you to come join the Discord, because we've merged the Discords. I'm sure you know this at this point. I'm just not here that often. The link is in the description of this podcast, probably, right, August?
It is.
Okay, cool. I don't know.
It has to be now.
And I guess if you want to see things in my real life, you can come listen to my music, I guess. I don't know, on my Bandcamp. Oh shit, what's my Bandcamp? Is it the Make? Yeah, it's makelovelikeWar.bandcamp.com.
Our lines, things we absolutely do not want to see, are homophobia and transphobia, racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, unwanted pregnancy, and plagues and pandemics. Our veils, things we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, are steamy situations, graphic descriptions of bodily harm, and terminal illness. Now that we've got all that, let's get started. The Bantrol system is not at war.
Bantrol was never, until recently, a wealthy colony. The planet had resources enough just to maintain its own small society, but none worth exporting. There was never any need for the corporate sponsors of its initial colonization to interfere with its administration. In the halls of Solar Union commerce, land shares on Bantrol traded for nothing. No cost, no gain. You might throw all my land shares on Bantrol into your golf wager as a joke, or give them as a prank gift to a friend.
Recently, though, there was a minor development in an obscure biomedical processing technology, and the novel features of Bantrol's ecosystem went from being a scientific curiosity to being an untapped and unknowably deep wellspring of wealth. Land shares on Bantrell are no longer an ignored asterisk on anyone's balance sheet.
The handover of administration and power from the descendants of Bantrell's original Terran colonists to the newly interested legal rights holders, self-proclaimed landowners, has been cheerful, orderly, and mutually profitable. There have been a few isolated spats, of course, but there's been practically no protracted, bitter, bloody war of resistance between the displaced old Bantrish aristocracy and the off-world landowners. When a landowner uses the threat of violence to force a hereditary great family to give up their land, keeping them on as guides and entertainers, it's cheerful. When they offer them in exchange a negligible sum, it's mutually profitable. When a fiery company of Bantrish irregulars responds by raiding their holdings and seizing arms and materiel against future battles, and local insurrectionists take advantage of the upset by forcibly occupying a biochem processing facility, and the landowners respond with ruthless crackdowns and martial law, these are a few isolated spats.
To admit otherwise would be to invite the intervention of the Terran Transit Authority's mediation and peacekeeping forces. Then, no one would get rich from Bantrell with the TTA.
Hell yeah. So, setting up this game, we need 3 to 6 players, of which we have 3. And the...
I'm sorry, I definitely heard 3d6. Like, just roll dice to see how many people are coming.
Yep. Roll 3d6, keep the top 2. That's the number of players we're playing with. The object of the game is to create messy entanglements, fall in love with your enemies, ally with your rivals, and fight with your friends. To start the game, we introduce our characters. We've all kind of created our characters beforehand. And part of the character creation is we choose a faction, 3 attractive qualities, and a name. So, Chia, if you'd like to go first with introducing your character.
Sure, my character is Beatriz Castrillon. You could just call her B. I'm of the Bantrish faction, and her attractive qualities are beautiful, enthusiastic, and rich. She's she/her, and for look I put lithe yet strong, dark features, and often wearing a formal dressage outfit, which doubles as her mobile suit outfit.
Hell yeah.
Are we talking mobile frame names as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, my mobile frame name is...
I don't know how to pronounce it, that's why I'm asking.
It's Liturgia. Liturgia. It's the Greek form of the word liturgy.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Fun.
Which is also... It means... It was a Greek practice of wealthy folk supporting their local municipalities through the wealth that they had acquired. Like, that's what liturgy used to be. Like, that's where the origin of the word was. It was kind of like, it's related to the, like, concept of noblesse oblige, basically.
Right.
I just went down a wiki hole, searching after noblesse oblige and was like, this seems fun.
Right, I can't name yet another mech in the world noblesse oblige.
It can't happen. But this is close enough.
All right, Brian, what you got for us?
Well, I'm playing the Revolutionaries faction, and I'm playing God's saddest cowboy, No Merit Vernal. His attractive qualities are devout, down-to-earth, and resolute. He uses he/him pronouns. He is tall and thin and very weathered-looking. He wears a lot of workwear, kind of like combination of like modern workwear and also the man with no name outfit kind of like vibes for his outfits. We get the cowboy spur jingle by him carrying like a big ring of ID tags. And his mobile frame is the candle with 2 flames.
And I'll be playing a landowner. Specifically, my character's name is Genevieve Evengard. Uses she/her pronouns. Her attractive qualities are confident, fashionable, and striking. She's a kind of tall and angular woman with a pointed chin that's always held high and piercing brown eyes. Usually she wears her dress uniform even in casual situations unless she's in a high society function, in which case she wears the most haute couture gown her pay can muster. Her mobile frame is the tough as nails. and her squad call sign is Thorn. So, Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands is a game that is a bunch of minigames stuffed in a trench coat. As longtime listeners of the show probably already know, you basically take turns around the table choosing a minigame to play, and each minigame has its own rules. But to start play, everybody plays solitaire, which is typically played silently, but that makes for shitty radio, so we're going to play it out loud. To play, you choose what you've been doing and then choose what happened. Choose freely, and we each have a list based on our faction to choose from. So, let's see. If I'd been thinking, I would have looked at Solitaire before now and started thinking about it, but I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, well, that makes, I think, all of us.
Same. Yeah, yep. Good, great. God, I'm not the only one.
It's the magic of editing. Nobody has to know that this happened.
Leave it all in. Leave it all in. This is my gremlin. It's funny when you leave the fuck-ups in podcast editing.
Classic Brian. I'm going to cut this part, and then I just don't, because I thought it was more interesting to not.
It's a fucking Green Goblin mask talking to you, but you could just leave it there.
Oh my god.
This has me thinking about, I've been contemplating what the mech look of this mech is, especially revolutionary style, right? And my brain keeps coming back to the guy who just welded a bunch of stuff to a fucking bulldozer.
Oh my god. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
You good, Brian?
Well, I am, at least.
Oh god, the waiters come to the table.
Yeah. Come to me last. I'll know by the time you shit around. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, actually.
That I do that every time. Every time I'm sitting with other people, I'm like,
You're so valid. Yeah, then we'll come around to you last, Brian. So what has B been up to?
So I think B has been seeking the support from the revolutionaries. Definitely feel like one of the things that she wants, tries to because there's a clear outside force here in the landowners. Yeah, make the case that they're all on the same side, and essentially, what ends up convincing the revolutionaries, however, to help in any way, shape, or form is the offer of arms and supplies. So, as much as B would like to think that they might see her as an actual ally, it's really that revolutionaries would need material support, and she's the only one coming around to offer.
Juicy. That is very fun because I have been tracking revolutionaries and taking them into custody lately. And some of them were bearing arms stolen from the Bantriesh or provided by them.
Let's fucking go. Hell yes.
Well, that's real funny.
Well,
that's it's funny you both say that. Because I've been raiding Bantriesh plants and warehouses for material. And there are a dozen crates of munitions in my home right now, visible to anyone who would happen to look.
Oh my god.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh, we're off to a good start.
I like No Merit showing up to the meeting and them being like, all right, listen, guys, we made some backroom deals and we've secured all this stuff. And No Merit's like, oh, good. What'd you do, No Merit? Nothing. Just,
Oh. All right. So now we go around the table. We choose any player to go first. Some games give you very fun or silly ways to choose who goes first, but this game does not. The games that we can choose from are an animated disagreement, a chase, a conversation over food, a dance, a free-for-all, meeting sword to sword, stealing time together, or a tactical skirmish.
Well, Chia's the guest. Chia gets to go first, out of honor. And not indecision from any of
come
us.
Back to me. Come back to
Okay,
me.
okay.
Waiter, take my order to last, please.
Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm always going to be on my bullshit.
Mhm.
There's a dance going on. Because of who I am as a person, we're going to start with the dance. The setup is to ask your chosen partner how you two came to be dancing together. Other players can join freely if it makes sense for their characters to also be present at the dance. And I think it makes most sense for B and Genevieve to be dancing at a highfalutin party.
Yeah.
Although I am totally open for No Merit crashing the party too. If that is something that would be in his desires.
Not quite yet, I don't think.
Okay. What do we notice about each other, and what have we heard?
So I believe this means that you've heard that possibly some Bentrish is supplying revolutionaries, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've heard that, and maybe you have a sneaking suspicion of who that may be. So this is like a ball for, probably put on by the landowners, I would assume, to like, hey, Bentrash, we're chill, right? Like everything, like the intro of the game says, mutually making money here, right?
Yeah. Mutually beneficial, totally cheerful. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I think you've definitely heard about the work that Jen has been doing with tracking down the revolutionaries.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm slightly distracted because I did say that Jen likes to dress in haute couture gowns at fancy parties. So I'm currently looking for the gown that she's wearing.
The right gown.
Yeah. And I think
Beatrice is wearing her fanciest dressage outfit. You know, the one with the extra long tails that they I don't know if y'all have seen these. There's like the one you actually wear on the horse, and then there's the one when you're like standing on the podium. They're slightly different.
I am not at all familiar, actually.
What, with dressage?
I'm not really familiar with dressage outfits, no.
Oh. You're not deep into horse dancing?
No.
No, weird.
Is there a place I could post it? Like, what's the best channel for this?
Just the Firebrands channel is fine.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
I'm trying to find one of the ones that's like, they have fancier ones for when they're like receiving their awards or whatever. But just imagine this with like extra long tails.
Okay. Yeah, so
Here's kind of one where the tails are kind of like down to the mid thigh, but not like even longer, even fancier.
Here for it. The gown that I think Jen is wearing is a floor-length lavender sequined gown with the slit all the way up to the hip on one side. Some of the fabric is sheer with a, I believe, cape that has looks to be lavender tulle with feathers sewn into it. So that is what she's wearing to this event. And during the dance, anyone can ask questions for details about the settings, occasion, and circumstances. To conduct the dance, we take turns asking each other questions. Each of you gets to ask the other 2 questions, taking turns, and then the dance ends. The worst dancer asks the first question, or else have another player choose who asks the first question at a whim. So who do we think is the worst dancer between the 2 of us?
Oh God. I mean, I'm just gonna say myself, even though I don't want to go first, but it's probably what's true.
All right.
Because, yeah, I can't dance at all. I needed a GR pad to dance. Does that really count as dancing? I don't know. Who could say?
I've always interpreted it as the worst character, who the worst dancer between the characters.
Interesting. Probably, my brain still says B, but
Okay.
I don't know. Because
Yeah.
you're like, I would assume, like she's playing like noble. She's like noble jock, right? Like this is like the sporty version of like nobility is the sort of dressage, and it's like sort of like the rich horse girl, right? I could make my horse dance, but I don't know about me.
Okay. Yeah, I've probably done like, because I'm a soldier, I've probably done like drills and stuff, so I've probably got some modicum of coordination, and have like certain dances memorized from like military functions and stuff.
So it's just gonna be generally awkward for both parties. I see.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Great. Okay, so I asked the first question.
Yes, and I do think that Genevieve definitely instigates the dance, coming up and doing a shallow bow and offering a hand.
Yeah, okay. This tracks. This tracks with my idea of how we came to be dancing together.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking essentially to try to confirm your suspicions here?
I don't know that Genevieve is being particularly circumspect about what she's doing. I think that everybody knows that she's on the lookout for, potential threats to the landowner interests. But I don't know that she necessarily is coming up to you in an accusatory fashion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, then, something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it?
Do you have a house crest on your person at all? Like, do you have like a pin with your house crest, or?
Definitely at least like a little like brooch or something, right? Like I think definitely a pin, maybe. Or if there's a pocket in the like coat, perhaps like a monogrammed little like, pocket square.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there will be some sort of crest.
Okay. I think you notice that that's caught my eye, and I just kind of smile a little and I say, your coat of arms is so unique.
My family prides themselves on having brought the sport of dressage to this planet. And by dressage, it literally means dancing mobile suits instead of horses.
Nice.
So there's like probably a frame in the coat of arms somehow, like in a like dance pose of some sort. I don't know, but like like probably very odd compared to like older families.
Yes, I've heard tell of your prowess with dressage as a family. It's an honor to be in your presence. And at this moment in the dance, you laugh. At what?
I think maybe something strikes me about the word prowess used in what would consider a more delicate art. Maybe just kind of the fact that though both nobles are kind of like in the like upper echelons, we view a sort of like there's like a difference here that's obvious between the landowners and the Vantrash that's coming out. I like kind of chuckle at that and perhaps I maybe wonder out loud where your if your family is known for anything.
I kind of laugh, and it's a little bit of a bitter sound. And I say, not at all. I am the first of my family to make anything of themselves. And I think it's your question.
Yeah, I'm trying to... I think... I lose my place in the dance. Do you let me stumble or you draw me back into place?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think my eyes linger on your coat of arms for a little bit longer, and there's a moment right after you stumble where you think that I'm not, that I'm just kind of ignoring you, but then it's as if I'm on just like a half-second delay before I, kind of gently guide you back into position. But there's definitely, you can sense that I almost did let you stay out of place. And I think that brings us to the closing question. Yeah, let's go with the classic, when the dance ends, will you stand with me or rush away?
I think the music comes to a close. Everyone... Perhaps there's some light, polite clapping for a second, and then Beatrice nods her head, Miss Evengard, and leaves the dance floor.
Nice. All right. Once every dancer has asked 2 questions of each of your dancing partners, the dance ends. So, unfortunately, the waiter has visited everybody but the 2 of you, so one of you is going to have to order. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have been contemplating this. I've had the time to do so. I'm thinking a chase, but I don't necessarily know with who. Does anybody particularly feeling a chase? Because like, I can steer the conceptualization around it in different ways.
I mean, worst case scenario, you can roll for it, but
Yeah.
Chia, if you've got any inclinations.
Well, I was just thinking, given that I think Bee's trying to still court like support from the revolutionaries, it might make the most sense for Jen to be, you're actively hunting down where these supplies are going.
Fair.
That kind of makes sense to me, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Works for me. All right. So, a chase set up. Only you and your chosen partner play. Choose which of you is the hunter and which of you is the quarry. Ask your partner how the chase came about. So I'm going to pick me being the quarry.
Fair.
So, and I guess I ask you, how did this chase come about?
I think this is taking place maybe a few days after the party that we were just at, and I must have picked up some sort of thread from that party that led me back to you.
Okay.
Or maybe not you specifically, but led me back to a location you're associated with, and you just happen to be at the wrong place.
Well, my house is full of munitions that are visible to the public, apparently.
I wasn't going to say immediately that I was headed to your house, but if you want it to be your house, that's fine.
Well, I don't necessarily, when I say house, I don't envision No Merit having, like, a fucking regular house at this point.
But either way, I picked up on a thread at the party that's led me in your direction.
Okay. And what do we notice about each other? What have we heard? I don't know what you necessarily notice, because I'm thinking this is happening, like, in suits.
Okay.
And
nice.
I don't necessarily know what you notice about No Merit, but you might just notice that it is, in fact, No Merit, right? I think, like, what you've heard about him, and particularly, like, this mech, is, like, he is, he's not, like, just he was not just a revolutionary, he's like a turncoat. Like, he's ex-military for probably the landowners, because he's from here, and went from, like, military dog to revolutionary at some point in time.
I think, in as far as what you've heard that my squad is looking for people. Like, we're not being subtle about any of it. So I guess ultimately the fact that I've come knocking is probably not a surprise.
Right. I wonder if it's like, it's not a surprise that you came knocking, and this chase is more like whatever raid they were doing, right? Or whatever move we were making, or whatever's going on, right? The chase is like it's like, oh fuck, the cops are here, and No Merit's like, y'all get this shit out of here. I'll get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me be a big target.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So yeah, and I think the chase sort of starts like, we're in whatever facility, right? You show up with like a crew, or like, and you guys are, you're fanned out, you're looking around, you're stomping through the facility. How big are we imagining these mobile frames? Are they like?
I don't think we're in Gundam scale.
Okay. It's like Titanfall sized mechs?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's more fun if they're like Titan-sized mechs.
Okay. There's three sizes of mech. There's because I've been listening to GGP, and like now I've got in my head like it's like like the Escaflowne, a Titan, and then a Gundam, right? Like
Jesus Christ.
I say all these things because August knows all of this scale.
Yes.
So yeah, I think like you're stomping around, you've got like they're not gonna let you just go like, of course, like when you're moving around in a thing, you're not going off by yourself to begin with, right? So like you guys come in, you split off, you're in pairs, and like Old West style, right? Like your person just like, you hear a crack and your wingman goes down, and the like hard cut to like the long alleyway shot of like No Merit standing there, and like the candle with two flames, which probably is like just like an ex-military mech that has been like patched over with a million different things. At this point it's like, what if you just took like a fucking Dodge Charger and you just patched it with literally any amount of scrap metal that you can get onto it.
Incredible.
But a mech.
But a mech.
Not a Dodge. It's just a Dodge Charger. No Merit leaning out the fucking side.
It's a Dodge Charger that you pasted some legs onto the bottom,
right?
Of.
Yeah, right.
It's the Megas XLR or whatever.
Right now, it's
Oh
what
my
it is.
God.
No Merit just picks it up, like Flintstone style, and sort of. They're his legs sticking out of the bottom. And I think there's like we get like the in cut of like the mech, like the shot looks like the mech standing there, and then like the camera in cut of like No Merit in the cockpit and being like, I don't remember hearing y'all knock at the front door. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ex-landowner military, do we know each other?
Very well might.
Huh.
I mean, he may not recognize the mech or whatever.
But I might recognize the voice.
Yeah. I imagine, like, the key thing with the ID tags that No Merit carries around is they're not, like, his.
Also, are we taking No Merit as a title?
No, that's his name. Yeah, it's No Dash.
Actual.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's just like, would there be a different name that Jen knows you by? Was my thought.
I mean, maybe here, like when I generated him for an entirely different world where everybody had weird names. Because he's No Merit Vernal, and one of his like contacts in that world was Max Sure as the Sun Rises. So like, it's just one of those on my shit with names in that world.
Fucking Puritan ass names.
Hell yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I just had I sent a bunch of Puritan names to my friend Danielle, who can actually use spreadsheets. I cannot. And Danielle made just a name generator specifically for me based off the database that I sent them to generate these names.
Fucking love Puritan-ass bullshit names. They're great.
But yeah, like, it could be it could be like a previous type. That would be an interesting, like name he adopts after, like, leaving, you know, basically it's like what he's been branded as, outlaw style, right? Like, you don't get to pick being Spider-Man. The papers call you that.
Right.
But yeah, I think, so, and then basically as soon as he's got your attention, he's like, and it just dashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, what does the tough as nails look like here?
I think the tough as nails does not look tough as nails. I think it's a very spindly looking piece of work. Lots of really odd angles that are probably meant to, like, baffle enemy sensors. So it looks a little kludgy almost, you know, like a little low poly, but very spindly. And I'm almost imagining, like, this is so silly, but I'm imagining, like, almost a feline head with, like, the ears being, like, sensors that swivel, trying to track you down.
I was trying to portmanteau and, like, nya into nails there.
Tough as nails.
Nails. Nails.
You know, like, nails.
And I think Nomer looks at this mech and is like, and then just, like, starts dashing off. And so I pressed through a thorny briar. I think what this looks like is, like, Nomer's mech is tougher and bigger, and is just, like, so he is pushing through, like, say, like, a scrapyard section of whatever facility that we're currently in. Basically, it's like, this thing does not look like it's gonna take a hit, and I'm just gonna barrel through a bunch of shit that it can't follow me through. So, I pressed through a thorny briar. Follow me if you want, but throw. On tails, you're tangled in thorns and must extract yourself, and I gain a coin.
I got tails, so yeah, on tails, I'm tangled and torn and must extract myself. So I get caught up in some of this equipment and, like, snared, and like I said, I don't know that the tough as nails is really tough as nails, so, you know, there's, you know, I may end up with, like, leaving a hand behind or something like that, having to leave behind a part of the mech to get out to actually pursue you.
Okay. All right. So like, yeah, Nomer's looking behind himself and he's like, okay, well, that was simpler than I intended it to be. It's like, oh, well, that worked out pretty good. Oh shit, turns around. And there are enemies ahead of me, and I must suddenly change my course.
I rolled heads.
Okay. So you gain on me, and thus gain 2 coins.
Whoa.
Fun. Yeah, so I am coming after you now with one less hand than I had when you first saw me, but
Oh, shit.
I'm gaining on you. I'm almost imagining it's so silly. I can't stop thinking silly things today, but I'm imagining, like, doing, like, a fucking Terminator run, trying to catch up to you.
And see, like, this is the like, in my head, it's moving like the fucking, like a Dom, like a Rick Dom from Gundam. Like, mine's just a big, bulky thing. It's like Rick Dom, like, floating. Like,
I was imagining the sentries from the Matrix, the squid ones.
Yeah, sure. So I think the next one is like, no, it's like, okay, well, now I've got to lose them. And I think he's on open like, you know, he's classic mech shit. There's just an open comms channel for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on open comms, like, Nomer is like,
I hope you're not disinclined to getting that one hand you got left dirty.
And I plunge through stinking, muddy water. Follow me if you want, but you'll need to ignore the stench, filth, and you'll ruin your clothing.
So, I mean, since we're in mobile frames, I think ruining clothing probably is more equated to, like, I'm gonna get gunk in my joints.
Yeah. It's gross, it's nasty, it's gonna, like, cause problems down the line.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out, like, you know, it's also, like, you know, at the end of this thing, your mech's just gonna be standing there looking like hot shit, like you've been through. You've been, like, it will make your mech not look like this was an easily handled situation, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But, Mama Evengard didn't raise a quitter, so I am going to plunge in after you, and on the open comms, you can hear Genevieve swearing and just cussing up a storm, but she's following. And I think you've got one more challenge.
One more challenge. We'll make it the big one. So we've reached the, like, pushing through, we've reached the edge of the facility. We're skating through this, like, god-awful sewage pipe situation, like some kind of, you know, sludge pit draining out of whatever factory this is. Scooting along it, and just fugitive style, we've reached to the end of the pipe, right? And I think No Merit, like, the end of the pipe is coming up, and No Merit's like, fuck it. Does whatever the equivalent of downshifting on a fucking mech is, and I leap out over nothing and make a hard, precarious landing. So basically he leaps out, like, comes to the other side of this, like, hits the afterburners and comes out, like, lands hard, kind of tumbles through whatever foliage is on the other side, but gets back on his feet. On the other side of this, like, probably like a sluice pit sort of situation, or like a coal ash pit or some such like that, where, like, you do not want to land in whatever the fuck is this runoff is just been sitting in this, like, drainage pond sort of situation.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna try to jump after you. I'm not sure if the Tough as Nails is designed to make this kind of a jump, but I've got to try. Aw, yeah! I've rolled a heads.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
On heads, I gain a coin.
I guess that means you make the jump. It doesn't really explain what on heads...
Yeah, I think it specifically doesn't explain just because we deal with comparing coins. So, if the hunter has as many coins as you or more, you choose one. I
think here, like... So I think it's, combination of, like, allies have caught me off and brought two, right? And basically I think it's one of those things where it's like, No Merit turns around looking back at the facility as you have caught up with him, and he's, like, looking back and seeing whatever ship that they were loading is taking off, and it's like, well, fuck. And you've proven yourself, I let you catch me kind of situation of, like, I can either keep like, I don't know if I can keep running, but if I let them catch me at this point, there's no way they can chase them too, right? So yeah, that is what happens. You've proven yourself, you let me catch me. Like, No Merit, like, mech hands go up, like, cockpit opens.
I think Jen, like, over comms is just like, fuck you, Vernal, all of these repairs are coming out of your hide.
Oh no, you're gonna garnish my wages, I guess. I'll have to talk to my boss over at the Revolutionary Factory.
I'm trying to think of how Jen would phrase this. Because I have decided that since we knew each other, Jen finds you a disappointment now. Actually, I think she just kind of scoffs and is just like, you disgust me.
Oh, well. It's gonna hurt me deep in my soul. I'm gonna think on that long and hard on evenings. It's gonna cause me to really turn my life around, your disappointment. How's your mama doing?
Fuck you. Yeah, so I think, Chia, it is now your turn. And, we can play it fast and loose with, like, timeline stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think this might need to have happened prior to this, to your capture, because I wanted to actually have a conversation over food with No Merit.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So for setup, ask your chosen partner how you two came to be eating together. How are we eating together?
Right. All right. How often are you visiting the revolutionaries for supply, like for resupplying?
Right, like, or probably, once a month seems like a good cadence, or like maybe keep it a little. Sometimes it's been 1 or 2 months, but just like try not to make it the same day every month.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it irregular so that's not too much of a pattern.
So are you say like at an outpost for like the revolutionaries, or is this like somebody's being sent to meet you for a dead drop?
I think maybe at an outpost.
Okay.
I'm also curious whether or not, because you had that moment where you had stolen some things despite me having like offered supplies already to the revolutionaries. If there's like slightly different cells essentially that are collaborating, but maybe I haven't quite convinced your cell yet.
Oh, good.
And that's why you were still hunting for. That's why you're still stealing things, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just give it to you, like, right? So maybe this is like that.
Oh, that could, yeah, that works. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so conducting take turns. The person with the lowest social standing takes the first turn. So I think that has to be you in this case.
Almost certainly, yes.
Yeah.
So what is it that I like notice or have heard about B?
Oh, I think you've probably heard at this point then that I've reached out to other revolutionaries to try to offer help, right? Like word's gotten around that there's a Bentrash that is looking for more support, like troops and is offering supplies and arms in return.
Okay. Nice. So, let's see. I mean, I think you've heard probably similar things to other people about No Merit in particular. But I think like No Merit and his particular band are probably meaner than Top Brass. No Merit and a gaggle of like more hard-lined or.
Sorry to make a Star Wars reference, but you're like the Saw to the revolution, the Alliance for the Rebellion, or
I don't
just one of the lesser.
I think there's like a lesser captain who like just probably just like is more of a pain in their ass and is willing to just do things, right? Like, I think it's Saw, like, or I think like in particular, like instead of being like Saw's, is more like he joined a group of already functioning like rebels that are just kind of got absorbed situation. In my head, say like No Merit is there, and in the background there's a gaggle of extremely weird looking siblings. But yeah, so like I think probably like No Merit's company is like not very big, probably like 20-25 people, and like you land, you show up and everything like that. And he sort of meets you at the ship, and he's like, I've been told that you have come a long way. And it seems inhospitable and downright rude not to at least offer you dinner, so come on. And he sort of like brings you over to where the mess is, as it were.
Is it full right now? Is it like,
I think as full as it is
dinner time?
I think like this is less of like, your jungle camp or what have you, and I think they have occupied, like they're in just like an occupied factory or what have you, and they're in where the cafeteria would have been in this factory, so it's not nearly as full as it normally, like it's probably there, like a good amount of the company is here, but the space is bigger than what this group was built for, right?
Right. I think Beatrice says, I'd assumed we'd want more private quarters to discuss this business, but
We don't really. I don't know if he kind of gestures around. There's not really like quarters. We have beds set up, and we have a mech bay. That used to be the garage where all the trucks came in. So that's about what we got. Otherwise, it's a factory floor. So this is good enough. They're like, people are certainly looking at you, and he's like, they'll be fine.
Well, all right, let's get to it.
Okay, so I asked the first dealio here, correct?
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling expansive. What do you want to know about me?
I heard a rumor that a landowner had joined the rebellion. It baffles me to consider what would make a landowner turn against his own people.
I think, like, No Merit sits down with his tray of whatever it is that they're eating, right? And I don't know if this I make an ignorant social or diplomatic blunder here combo, but also
Right.
immediately
Right.
like lights a cigarette while eating. And I think he laughs a bit, and he's like, "Is that what they're saying about me? I was owning the land. That's fun. I fought for them. Yeah, like I got into a robot and I went and killed whoever they told me to. But that doesn't mean I necessarily owned any of the land. Fun thing about when you own land, it ain't just you on it. You gotta have a lot of motherfuckers to tend to it here. You think," kind of gestures to the room here, you think all these people owned the land that they lived on? Nah. Nah, I was, you see, I was trying to get this better life that was always sold to me. But in the end, when everything had fallen apart, it no longer, the juice was not really worth the squeeze anymore, especially, when you do a lot of work for people who aren't used to getting their own hands dirty. They're not necessarily willing to support you in the same way that you supported them.
I hope to find. Well, I guess in response, yeah. I hope to convince you that we're actually on the same side. Can I? When you make mention of the amount of people it takes to kind of, protect a land.
And I think, like, No Merit. I think, like, there's a... I guess the question to, like, the answer to this is, like, maybe, right? And, like, No Merit's sitting there eating cigarettes, sitting on the edge of, like, the bowl, just, like, burning away. And he's like, how, So what... I guess the question I have for you is, what changes? You win. Or we win, right? We all join hands. We kick the landowners off, quote unquote, their land, right? They get what? What happens to them, A, afterwards, and B, what happens to us afterwards, right? Like, the way I see it, like, it's not like this is the first war ever fought. There's a long history. And
I'm sure it won't be the last.
well, there's
But it'll at least be an end to this war.
Yeah.
And well, ideally, we drive the landowners off Bantrash, and things go back to what before. Back to when no one cared about a little rock on the edge of the galaxy. We were mostly left alone.
See, but the genie's out of the bottle. We can't put it back in. Y'all know what's here. Y'all are fighting for what's here. You expect me to believe that, like, with all this money on the table, that the Bantresh nobles would just let that all go away just in the name of peace, a thing they love over money.
I think you misunderstand our current position. We would, of course, retain all of our current land holdings, instead of being forced to sell them to the landowners. But any, parcel of land that was taken up by revolutionary arms would stay with those people. I think this is. I hope to convince you that. Actually, like, I hope to convince you that that is true. That people's, like, current sort of territorial holdings that have been carved out due to the war would actually stay that way after the war.
I mean,
if the landowners are driven off.
I think No Merit could believe that you believe that would be a possibility.
Right. Yes. Yes, exactly.
But I don't know if he believes that that's I don't think he lives in that kind of reality. We'll modify one of these topics of conversation here slightly. Bring up any of these topics in conversation. An airdropped crate of landowner munitions that has gone missing, right? And I think, like, you walked probably, like, in the way in, right? You had to have walked past, like, this is the house that has all the fucking crates in it, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
Just like a huge stack of shit, right? And I think, like, No Merit, picking at this food and everything like that, and is like, so I couldn't help noticing you eyeing the supplies on the way in.
I have visited a few revolutionary outposts, offering arms and supplies in exchange for people to help fight for my family and my family's land. But I see that you seem particularly more flush than just about anyone else in this revolution.
Well, I mean, fortune favors the bold, right? And I think he gestures over to, like, a table where there's, like, a guy who is as wide as No Merit is tall, and then, like, two smaller people, and he's like, we have, let's just say before conflict broke out, that a number of members of my outfit have a particular set of skills that make procurement a little bit easier for us than other outfits within the organization. Doesn't necessarily mean more ain't better.
Well, good. I'm glad it could still be of some use to you.
Yeah. I did. You did say something that was particularly interesting to me there. It was your family's holdings. Your family's land. And I do wonder, I mean, outside of, a piece of paper or digital contract sitting on somewhere on either in somebody's desk or on a hard drive sitting somewheres. What is it that makes your family owed that particular land?
Well, when the original colonies on Bantresh were set up, we were there, and we chose a spot as divided up by the corporate interest at the time, and we've been there for generations. We've existed on that land for some time now. Before the discovery of Bandrafell, nobody cared to look our way. But we tilled the land, my forebears did at least. Made a home for themselves here on this planet. As a, well, ex-landowner, I suppose, you might not have the same connection to the physical earth here as I do and my family does. But I assure you, it's in my blood, says the colonist.
Right. To the guy who joined up for a call, for the guy who joined the military for a call, like for a scholarship.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on a second. I can't remember how this. Sorry. Take turns. Person with the low social standing. This character's clear. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was your likely topic. I think after that, I might say, I don't think I've had the pleasure to, and she like shoves the food on her plate around a little bit. Try this particular type of cooking. What would you call this? This is a pass in the.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the talking about just talk about the food. Yeah. And I think No Merit is like, oh well, I don't think it's anybody's long-held family recipe. He says, kind of also has moved. There's a solid there's a cigarette burning, and there's a solid chance No Merit's just smoking instead of eating. It's like, oh, you know what's easier to eat than food? Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Great, good to have an appetite suppressant around when you don't feel like eating. And I think he's like, we're at some point in time you get tired of eating seized rations, and a hot meal is supposed to improve morale. He's sort of like looking at the like plate of stuff. I don't know if it's working great on that particular front. But that's the idea, at least. Basically, everybody will eventually get tired of eating prepackaged food, so somebody will get the wild hair to make something. Unfortunately, we're a bunch of thieves and killers, and not like a bunch of chefs, so that doesn't go well. So then we go back to prepackaged food until we get tired of that. That's mostly the cycle.
Well, I did mention that my family were originally farmers. We do still have crops that we keep, usually sell them off-world, but can help supply even during these hard times. Some, fresh produce for your troops. Better meals, maybe. I think here I'm feeling generous. What favor do you ask me? Like, I'm trying to put something on the table, but I think you could probably push back and ask for something more.
I think No Merit sort of contemplates the offer, right? Because like bullets and bandages he can get. Food, on the other hand, maybe not the hard. Again, he's been stealing food. It's just shit food.
Right. Yes.
It's the same morale destroying food that the other side is eating too. And I think he's like, we got a good number of people in this particular revolution. Lot of ex-farmers, right? You've been working a parcel of land and everything like that for like most of your life. You're kicking up rent and cost of seed and all that. Then, what happened was like, after generations of working land that, man, maybe wasn't yours, but that's where your family's been. Turns out something more valuable than food is underneath it. And I think he like lays his he kind of like moves his bowl of whatever out of the way, cigarette sort of hanging from his lip, and he like puts his hand palm up on the table, and sort of encourages you to do the same thing.
Sure, I follow suit. What
is the sort of quality of B's hands?
Has not has not done a
Yeah.
day of hard work in her life.
Yeah.
100%. You can tell the difference,
Right.
like instantly.
I think he goes, at the end of the day, we need to eat. And I'm sure all these people, all people in the other outfits, they would be happy to have a warm meal that wasn't just put together by whatever was around, or basically just a stew of the prepackaged stuff they've been used to eating. So I'll take you up on your offer. But the next time you come into my base, or hell, anybody else's, it would behoove you to not insult people who know what the dirt feels like between their fingers by claiming that you grew whatever it is that you're peddling. And his hand like turns sharply, grabs yours, and like shakes it. And he stands up from the table and he's like, "Pleasure to do business with you."
As B stands up, kind of, trying to match your sort of speed, and be like, "Pleasure's all mine," and like starts to walk out of the mess. We'll have my people call your people.
My people definitely got phones. Coop, get over here. We need to invent a phone.
Awesome.
Specifically for Jade listening to this. Just the Shelbys are in the background.
Well, all right. So I do believe that brings it back up to me. And so I think this will be a fun way to kind of get you out of my custody, No Merit, if we do a meeting sword to sword. Just A, meeting sword to sword is fun, and B, if you kick my ass, you can leave. So, how do you feel about that?
That sounds like an average Saturday night.
Yeah. So the setup, only you and your chosen partner play, decide together how the two of you came to be standing alone sword to sword. I think this is a case of, you're in our custody and I bring you out to, like, the yard and, like, unbutton the top two buttons of my, dress jacket, which is how you know I mean business. And I toss you a sword and it's like, you still remember how to use this thing?
I think No Merit is standing there and hold on a second. I'm trying to remember the name of these. So that's what they were. No, that's not it. Dang it. All right, whatever. And so I think like No Merit like you've come out, you've dramatically unbuttoned the top button of your like, your dressage flight suit situation thing, right? Not you're not the dressage one. Sorry, wrong dressage person. Yeah.
No, I wear my dress uniform everywhere.
Correct.
Except when I'm wearing fancy dresses.
Yeah. So you've unbuttoned the top buttons of your dress uniform. Like the camera follows you as you come out, two swords in hand. You toss one dramatically, unbutton the top buttons, and you're like, you still remembered how to use that. And it pans over to No Merit, who's just like standing there in like a tank top and a pair of like cargo pants. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like, huh. All right. And I think he takes like a second, kind of like looks around this garden. I'm sure there are like guards blocking the exit or whatever, so I don't just run, right? Like, because No Merit's certainly thinking like, well, can I just run? I don't really want to do this sword fighting part. I think he sighs and like leans down and picks it up, and he's like, I wasn't ever big on the dueling. They don't really, when you don't start off, when you don't like buy your way in, with a rank, You start off like way lower in the proceedings. I don't know if you know about that, about, being on the bottom of the pyramid. But they don't talk about when you're in like boot camp instead of like the military academy. You got a lot you spend a lot less time learning to duel, and a lot more time not being cannon fodder. But he sort of picks up the sword, like moves it around in his hand. I'm not unfamiliar.
All right, so during the duel, anyone can ask anyone for details about the location and circumstances, so Chia, feel free to chime in if you have any questions. To conduct the duel, ask a leading question. The better with the sword begins. If you don't know which of you that is, throw a coin. Take turns asking leading questions back and forth. At any time after the third leading question, either of you can choose to ask one of the closing questions instead.
Do you want to be the one who's better with the sword, or do you think it's more fun if we flip the coin and No Merit's actually secretly good at this?
No, I think it is very fun if No Merit is better with the sword and is just taking the piss out of Genevieve.
Right.
So, by all means, please start off.
Let's see. Oh yeah, easy starting motion here. Like it's just a complete dick move. I pretend to falter and dip my blade. Do I draw you out, or do you recognize the ploy and hold steady?
Oh, you definitely draw Jen out. Like, she is far too self-absorbed to recognize the ploy for what it is, and so she thinks she's clever and has already got you on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she does not. To that end, I overreach slightly, and you have an opportunity to slip in a dirty little cut. Do you take it?
See, like, I don't think No Merit is interested in, like, humiliating you, right? He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't want to be here.
No, that's valid.
And so I don't think he does. I think I know what. So,
is it like a situation where you tap her with the flat of your blade to just like let her know that you could have done it?
I think it's actually like funnier. So we're fencing, I'm assuming, right? In my head, we're fencing, right?
Yeah.
So
that's totally reasonable.
And you're in like, military dress here, and like No Merit is dressed like a guy, like, and so as cargo pants, work boots, and like probably had some kind of jacket on before you threw him in a cell or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go for a low attack, like you go to hit me in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Ostensibly to stab me in the foot to slow me down. But you're not used to fighting people who are dressed like this, and you hit him in the foot and nothing happens because he wears steel-toed boots. Because they're work boots.
Love it.
And he just kind of stares at you like, you feeling good about yourself? You want to take another try at that one? Hold on, we'll reset. You go to your side, I'll go to my corner, we'll come back out. Pretend like none of this ever happened.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, had you said where you had brought No Merit to?
Oh yeah, we're in some courtyard, but where? That's a good question.
That is a good question. I think there's some sort of, because I'm part of the landowner military, there's probably like my command has a barrack somewhere that is on ostensibly landowner property. It used to belong to some Bantreash noble.
Mm-hmm.
But LOL, it's ours now.
Is it a situation where are there other I'm like trying to imagine whether or not there's other people around? Like, are people starting to like gather and be like, hey, what's going on over here? Or is it a spot that is more secluded? You meant for this to be like a more private moment, basically.
I think it's funny if we're starting to gather a crowd, and that just makes Genevieve more pissed off.
Right. Everyone's like cheering when he like gets No Merit gets a little, one up on you and stuff like that, or like laughing and
Yeah. No, I love that.
So yeah, I
get his ass.
Yeah, I think No Merit like makes a little comment about like we can start over if you want to, and then just like kicks up your sword and goes in. I launch a sustained attack with all my weight. Do you give ground readily or begrudgingly?
Begrudgingly, 100%. She's just snarling and like trying to stave off your attack, and you push her back by inches, but she's so clearly not happy about it. And I think you get to a point where she stops giving ground and goes on the offensive herself, and we lock swords and your mouth is near my ear. What do you say?
I think like you lock swords. No Merit kind of pulls you in close and is like speaking low, right? Again, his goal is not necessarily to humiliate you, but he's also not going to be like nice about this shit. Like he doesn't care if you come out looking good either. And I think he like kind of like you lock swords. He pulls in close and he's like, "You shouldn't start games you ain't prepared to lose. Because if you're not comfortable with losing, you ain't gonna put all of it in. You're gonna hesitate. You're gonna be too concerned about winning." And he sort of like backs off and he kind of like pulls out of the lockup and sort of like resets his step. Are you prepared to lose?
I don't know that she responds to that.
I was just trying to choose a move next after that, like dropping the
Come
line.
on,
You're right.
Jen, he's open. Get his ass. Your fellow teammates like misreading everything in the sword fight.
And I guess like, how long do we keep going till we feel good about it?
I mean, it's up to you. We're at the point. We're at the point now where any of us could ask a closing question at any time. So
I was just making sure. I was making sure that we were not like I wasn't going too many turns or what have you.
Nah.
Because some of them do, and I always forget which ones. Also, it's the fact that probably there's 100 Firebrands hacks in my brain at any given amount of time. We've played too many of them. And so I think it's so yeah, like he steps back after this. You don't answer, and he's like, "You could have given me something." And then I thrust and you barely turn it. A fraction slower and you'd have been cut through. Does this exhilarate you or chill you?
That's a really good question. Either way has interesting implications for who Jen is as a person. I think it's chilling, but she tries her best not to let on. And I think I am going to ask a closing question now.
Okay.
You knock my sword rattling out of my hand. Do you allow me to recover it, or must I submit?
Yeah. So I think, sword goes clattering out of your hand. No Merit sort of like takes a step back. And he sort of like looks at it and looks to you. And I think he allows you to like, he like looks at you and he goes, "Go ahead, pick it up. You still got this, I think." And more of like if I made you surrender, it is more humiliating for me to let you pick that sword up than it is for me to like make you to surrender, right? Like, oh, you lost the duel, right? Like, but like it's me saying like you were never gonna win it. You've got no like, and I think at a certain point he's like, "So I believe by the rules that you set up, I'm free to go now, right? Who's gonna return me my effects?" His effects being like a jacket. And all I guess is mech.
Right, that thing.
Yeah. And he like walks over to he like throws his sword like into the ground, walks over to a guard, snatches out his like Carhartt jacket from the guy.
Perfect.
Puts it on, patting the things like somebody took my goddamn smokes. Like it just isn't not sticking around to talk shit. Like doesn't like you were just another inconvenience for him today.
Good. To be continued.